The Los Angeles skyline glittered through the penthouse windows of the Grand Plaza Hotel, the crown jewel of my global hospitality empire. My family still believed I was just a struggling hotel consultant. If only they knew that their precious Henderson Hotels was just one small piece in my much larger collection. Miss Sullivan, my executive assistant Michael, appeared with a stack of reports. The acquisition of the Asian luxury resorts is complete. We now control 73% of the high-end hospitality market in 6 countries. I nodded, scanning real-time occupancy data on my tablet. And Henderson Hotels? Still declining, Michael said. Their outdated management style is driving away luxury clients. Your parents' insistence on running things the old way is killing their reputation. A bitter smile touched my lips. I remembered my last conversation with them 3 years ago. I'd presented a comprehensive modernization plan. AI integration, sustainable luxury initiatives, personalized guest experiences. Ideas that now made billions for my own hotel chain. This is a family business, Dad had declared, barely glancing at my proposal. We don't need trendy gimmicks from someone who's never even run a single hotel. Mother had been even harsher. Darling, why don't you stick to your little consulting work? Leave the real hospitality business to those who understand it. Now their real hospitality business was hemorrhaging money, while my so-called gimmicks had built the Sullivan Group into the fastest-growing luxury hotel chain in the world. Michael, I called out, show me the latest guest satisfaction scores for Henderson Hotels. The holographic display flickered to life, showing plummeting ratings, down 40% in the last quarter alone. Their flagship property in Beverly Hills is particularly problematic, Michael added. Our undercover audit was a complete disaster. He handed me another tablet. Outdated technology, untrained staff, maintenance issues. They're one bad review away from losing their 5-star rating. I scrolled through photos of worn carpets and dated decor, each image validating my secret purchases of Henderson Hotel stock through various shell corporations. We now owned 48%, just shy of controlling interest. Your father called again, Michael mentioned carefully. He wants to know if you'll attend their annual hotel awards ceremony next week. Apparently, they're giving your brother the Innovation in Hospitality Award. I laughed. My brother Tom, whose idea of innovation was changing the minibar snacks, was being celebrated while my multi-billion-dollar innovations were revolutionizing the industry. Confirm my attendance, I said, rising to look out over the city. And make sure all our pieces are in place. Everything's prepared, Michael assured me. The final stock purchase will go through during the ceremony itself. Our legal team is ready and the press releases are drafted. My phone buzzed. A text from Mom. Please dress appropriately for the ceremony. This is a prestigious event, not one of your casual consulting meetings. I glanced down at my bespoke Chanel suit and Louis Vuitton heels worth more than a year's stay in their presidential suite. Tell them I'll do my best to look presentable. The week leading up to the ceremony passed in a carefully orchestrated blur. By the time my driver pulled up to the Henderson Grand Hotel, soon to be mine, we owned 49.9% of Henderson Hotels. Miss Sullivan, the front desk manager, greeted me nervously. He'd probably been warned about the disappointing daughter. Your parents requested you use the side entrance. That won't be necessary. I smiled, striding through the lobby I'd soon be renovating. I'm exactly where I should be. The ballroom was filled with the elite of the hospitality industry, many of whom unknowingly worked for me through my various holdings. If my family had bothered to look closer, they would have noticed how many of their so-called independent luxury partners were actually Sullivan Group properties. Victoria. Tom's voice boomed across the room. Come to see your successful brother's big moment? I accepted a champagne flute from a passing waiter, noting the cheap vintage. Another detail that would soon change. Wouldn't miss it, I replied, checking my phone as another alert came through. Our final stock purchase was processing. In exactly 20 minutes, Henderson Hotels would have a new owner. The stage was set. The players were in position. My family was about to learn that their struggling consultant had built an empire right under their noses. "P," I whispered into my earpiece, "is everything ready?" "All systems go," he confirmed. "The takeover begins at your signal." I smiled, watching my parents work the room, completely unaware that their reign over Henderson Hotels was about to end. Then let's give them a night they'll never forget. The Henderson Grand Hotel's ballroom dripped with dated opulence, crystal chandeliers that hadn't been updated in decades, gold trim that had lost its luster. Every flaw screamed for the renovation I'd already planned. Victoria, darling. Mother kissed my cheeks, her eyes narrowing at my Cartier jewelry. How unexpected to see you here and wearing such expensive pieces. Your consulting must be going better than we thought. If only she knew I could buy her entire jewelry collection with my morning coffee budget. Ladies and gentlemen, Dad's voice boomed from the podium. Welcome to the 35th Annual Henderson Hotels Excellence Awards. I checked my phone. 18 minutes until the stock transfer completed. Right in the middle of Tom's acceptance speech. Your brother's done remarkable things, Mother gushed, gesturing toward Tom, who was preening at a nearby table. Did you know he increased room service profits by changing the menu font? I bit back a laugh, thinking of the AI-driven personalized dining experience I'd implemented across my hotels, increasing revenue by 300%. Miss Sullivan, Michael's voice whispered through my discreet earpiece, final contracts are being signed. And an interesting development, the Five-Star Association is here. I spotted them, the delegation that determined luxury hotel ratings. Perfect timing, considering I'd anonymously sent them a detailed report about Henderson Hotels' declining standards last week. And now, Dad continued, the moment we've all been waiting for. The Innovation in Hospitality Award goes to my son, Thomas Henderson, for his groundbreaking improvements to our guest experience. Tom strutted to the stage as scattered applause filled the room. I noticed several industry veterans, secretly my employees, hiding their smirks behind champagne glasses. Thank you, Tom began. As everyone knows, innovation is the heart of Henderson Hotels. Our traditional values. My phone vibrated. The stock transfer was complete. I now owned 51% of Henderson Hotels. Time for the show to begin. Michael, I whispered, execute Protocol Alpha. Suddenly, every screen in the ballroom flickered. The outdated Henderson Hotels logo dissolved, replaced by real-time performance metrics, plummeting satisfaction scores, declining revenues, failed inspections. What's happening? Dad demanded, rushing to the podium as Tom froze mid-speech. Ladies and gentlemen, I said, rising. My voice carried across the now silent room. I believe we need to discuss some concerning trends in Henderson Hotels' performance. Victoria, sit down, Mother hissed. You're embarrassing the family. Am I? I smiled, walking toward the stage. Or am I finally showing the truth about what this family has done to a once great hotel chain? The screens shifted again, showing even more damning statistics. Under current management, Henderson Hotels has lost 40% of its luxury market share. Guest complaints have tripled. 3 properties are at risk of losing their 5-star rating. How dare you? Dad's face turned purple. Security. Remove her. I wouldn't do that, I said calmly, nodding to Michael. He stepped forward, distributing thick folders to the stunned audience. As the majority shareholder of Henderson Hotels, I have every right to be here. The silence was deafening. Mother's champagne glass slipped from her fingers, shattering against the marble floor. Tom's mouth opened and closed like a gasping fish. Majority shareholder? Dad whispered. Perhaps you should have paid more attention to your stock registry, I replied. Sullivan Global Ventures has been acquiring shares for months. As of 3 minutes ago, we own 51% of Henderson Hotels. Sullivan Global? One of the 5-star delegates exclaimed. The luxury hotel group that's revolutionizing the industry? The same, I said with a smile. Though my family knows it better as my little consulting business. This is impossible, Tom stammered. You're just a consultant. Actually, brother dear, I'm the CEO of the largest luxury hotel consortium in the world. While you were busy changing menu fonts, I was building an empire. I gestured to the screens, now filled with my company's portfolio. And now, I'm going to save Henderson Hotels from your incompetence. The room erupted in chaos. Industry veterans pulled out phones, frantically calling investors. The 5-star delegation huddled together, reviewing my documentation. Mother collapsed into a chair, her perfect makeup streaked with tears. You can't do this. Dad's voice shook. This is our family legacy. Was your family legacy, I corrected. Now it's part of mine. And trust me, I have much bigger plans than changing menu fonts. The morning sun streamed through the floor-to-ceiling windows of my new office, formerly my father's sanctuary at Henderson Hotels headquarters. In the week since the awards ceremony, the hospitality world hadn't stopped buzzing about the takeover. Hotel heiress reveals secret empire, consulting queen's billion-dollar revenge. Michael entered with a stack of documents. The transition team is ready. And the press is assembled in the main conference room for your first official announcement as CEO of Henderson Hotels. I stood at the window watching the city wake up. The view would be even better after the renovation. I'd already approved plans to add 20 stories to the building. Any word from the family? I asked. Your mother's been calling hourly. Your father's lawyers tried to challenge the stock purchase. Our legal team shut them down in minutes. And Tom? Michael smirked. He's still trying to access his executive suite. His key card stopped working last night. Speaking of access, I said, turning from the window, has security finished the sweep of all Henderson properties? Complete. We found exactly what you predicted. Outdated systems, security vulnerabilities. He handed me a tablet. And some interesting financial discrepancies in your brother's expense reports. I scanned the numbers, each line item confirming what I'd suspected. While Tom had been accepting awards for changing fonts, he'd also been embezzling from the company. Perfect ammunition for the board meeting later today. Miss Sullivan. My secretary's voice came through the intercom. Your parents are here. They don't have an appointment, but they're demanding to see you. I smiled, straightening my Versace suit. Send them in. It's time they see how a real hotel empire is run. They burst into the office like a storm. Mother in her outdated Chanel, father red-faced and blustering, Tom trailing behind, lost without his executive privileges. How dare you change the security codes? Father slammed his hands on my desk. This is still Henderson Hotels. Actually, I pressed a button. Massive screens dropped from the ceiling. This is now Sullivan Global at Henderson Tower. Though that name will change once the rebranding is complete. The displays lit up with my comprehensive renovation plans, not just for the building but for the entire Henderson Hotels chain. Modern designs, sustainable technology, AI-driven guest experiences, and staffing overhauls filled the screens. You're destroying everything we built, Mother whispered, sinking into a chair. No. I'm saving it. I tossed a folder across the desk. Your quarterly reports. Guest satisfaction down 40%. Occupancy barely hitting 60, 3 properties about to lose luxury status. You weren't building anything. You were writing grandfather's legacy into the ground. Those numbers are confidential. Tom protested. Nothing is confidential from the majority owner, I smiled. Including your creative expense reports, brother dear. The board will be particularly interested in those. The color drained from his face. Mother gripped her pearls. Father seemed to age years in seconds. The board, Father said stiffly, will never support this hostile takeover. Really? I pressed another button. The screens showed live feeds from every Henderson hotel lobby around the world. We watched as each property's signage transformed, Henderson's dated logo dissolving into Sullivan Global's sleek new brand. The change rippled across time zones, sweeping from Asia to Europe to the Americas. Impossible, Mother breathed. The cost alone. You mean the $2 billion I spent on modernization? I pulled up financial reports. A drop in the bucket for Sullivan Global. Would you like to see my company's real numbers? The screens filled with staggering data, global holdings, revenue streams, market penetration. Each figure was a testament to the innovations they had mocked. While you were rejecting my proposals, I said, walking around the desk, I was building the future of luxury hospitality. Smart rooms that learn guest preferences. Environmental systems that cut energy costs by 80%. Staff training programs that set industry standards. Everything you dismissed as trendy gimmicks is now worth billions. The board meeting starts in 10 minutes, Michael announced from the doorway. All members are present, including the 5-Star Association representatives. Perfect timing. I smiled. Today we vote on the complete restructuring of Henderson Hotels. New management. New direction. New standards. You can't just erase us, Father whispered. This company is our life. Was your life, I corrected. Now it's part of something bigger, something better. Though you're welcome to stay on as minority shareholders. Under certain conditions. I handed them contracts. Sign and you'll retain small stakes. Refuse and I'll buy you out at market value, which given recent performance isn't much. This is blackmail. Tom sputtered. This is business, I said coolly. The kind you never understood. Now shall we head to the board meeting? I believe they're eager to hear about your innovative menu fonts. The next hour blurred into presentations, votes and signatures. By the time the press conference began, Henderson Hotels had new leadership, a new direction and a new future. The family's resistance crumbled as board members enthusiastically endorsed my plans, especially after reviewing Tom's expense reports. As cameras flashed and reporters shouted questions, I caught sight of my family in the corner. Father looked defeated. Mother dabbed at her eyes. Tom stood shell-shocked, his empire of mediocrity collapsing around him. Miss Sullivan, a reporter called. What made you decide to take over your family's company? I thought of all the dismissed proposals, the mocked innovations, the years of underestimation. Then I smiled directly at my family. Sometimes the best way to preserve a legacy is to reinvent it completely. Later that evening, as the city lights twinkled below my office, Michael entered with international press coverage. Every headline told the same story. Hotel heiress's secret empire revolutionizes industry. Your mother left this, he said quietly, placing an envelope on my desk. Inside was a short note. We were wrong. All these years we were so wrong. Please can we talk? Mom. I slipped the note into my drawer, turning back to the renovation plans on my desk. Would have to wait. I had an empire to rebuild. Michael, I called out, schedule the global management meeting for tomorrow. And book the presidential suite at our Tokyo property for next week. Family reconciliation? He asked. I didn't answer.